Yo, what's up guys, Vojtech here. In today's video, I got a special one. The evil design of McDonald's Drive-Thru by Zofree? I don't know. Let me know how you pronounce it. Anyways, it doesn't really have to be McDonald's, I'm assuming. I think I know what he means here. It's just the drive-thrus in general. He picked McDonald's probably because it's the most popular one. But yeah, I have a feeling that I will know what's this about. I haven't seen the video, but I saw other video talking about it, and it's pretty interesting. That's why I want to react to it here and add my insight.
It's 8:30 on a cold Tuesday morning. Frank gets in his car and heads to work. Halfway through the drive, he notices he had forgotten his coffee on the kitchen counter. Luckily, there's a McDonald's drive-thru around the corner. It seems there's only a couple of cars ahead of him. He pulls up to the lot, places an order of an Americano, decides to treat himself to a chocolate brownie, and hits the road. But Frank isn't the only one tricked by drive-thrus. McDonald's and its competitors spend billions of dollars every year and use advanced data to influence our decisions regarding fast food. Everything is optimized to trick you into spending more and more, from old-school tactics to complicated AI algorithms. I mean, the manipulation begins before you even hit the parking lot. And this is how they do it. Fast food restaurants didn't truly take off until American families began embracing a lifestyle centered around driving. As people migrated from bustling cities to suburbs, the demand for quick on-the-go meals skyrocketed.
And also,
this shift turned fast food.
I mean, before women started working, there was no need to have so many restaurants, because just the wives cooked and that's it.
Into a natural extension of this new, fast-paced lifestyle. The drive-thru concept originated in the 1940s, with the first known drive-thru window opened by Red's Giant Hamburg in Springfield, Missouri in 1947. However, it was McDonald's that brought the drive-thru to the mainstream fast food market in 1975, revolutionizing the dining experience. McDonald's introduced the drive-thru to cater to customers who preferred quick service without leaving their vehicles, especially during the busy lunch hours. Initially, the drive-in was the go-to format for dining out. Think of those classic scenes from old movies featuring diners with waitresses gliding on roller skates, taking orders from the
it really happened.
Cars. The drive-in was more than just a meal. It was a social event, a popular destination for date nights and family gatherings.
But
however,
were they really watching the movies like that?
Significant shift. Unlike the drive-in, the drive-thru was designed for speed and efficiency. No parking, no waiting, and no lingering. You simply ordered, picked up your food, and continued on your way. This innovation reflected the changing norms of American life, where convenience reigned supreme. Today, the drive-thru is not just a feature. It's a fundamental part of the fast food experience. A recent poll revealed that 47% of Americans would refuse to patronize a fast food restaurant without a drive-thru.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I'm not really that big on the drive-thrus because, you still eat in your car. There's trash in your car. You have to pick it up. There's like, how to say it, crumbles, not crumbles, but the bits of the food fall on the floor and stuff. I don't mind. I have used drive-thrus a lot, but
that's a staggering statistic.
Just saying.
McDonald's says that their drive-thrus account for a whopping 70% or more of their total US revenue, but that's not simply the result of consumer demand or luck. The design behind drive-thru's success is much deeper than it looks. Let's look at how you get pulled in.
I wasn't expecting it to be more than 50.
Into any business is attention. These fast food chains are well aware of that. That's why attention-grabbing elements are heavily used on the side of the roads or highways, all in saturated bright colors contrasting with the scenery. Your eyes can't simply escape them while driving. But what happens when you decide to take that right to get you a McDouble? Drive-thrus are designed into zones, and each zone is optimized to influence your decision-making. So this is you pulling up to the entry zone, that first part where you're making your way from the street to the ordering point. Fast food spots lay out everything in their parking lots to make sure you know exactly where to go. Signs and arrows guiding your way. There's no room for confusion. It might seem like a small detail, but it's all about removing any bumps in the road that could slow you down. In behavioral science, it's called friction, and the less friction, the more likely you are to grab that burger. Drive-thrus don't want you to think about making a decision.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm assuming he will talk about something I already heard, but I must say, guys, this video is so well done. You know, the audio is alright, it's good, and the the graphics, pretty cool. Not gonna lie, very good video. Definitely check it
Instead,
out
they do the decision
in the
making for you.
description.
Moving on to the next zone of the drive-thru layout. This is where most of the magic happens. The first tactic they use nowadays is the dual lane pre-order zone, which simply
Oh, yeah.
splits the waiting line in two. This is made purposefully for two main reasons. The first reason is to give you an illusion that the waiting line is shorter than it actually is. In fact, in most drive-thrus, there's only one person taking orders from both lines. But the lane split kind of manipulates you into thinking the waiting time is going to be cut in half, when it's clearly not the case. And the weird thing is, even if you already know about it, you're still going to be subconsciously falling for it. The other smart thing about the dual lane pre-order zone is that it makes sure the line doesn't creep out onto the main road, which could ultimately block traffic, and most importantly, eliminate any discouraged drivers from pulling up to the drive-thru and reconsider your decision to get food. Something drive-thru joints definitely don't want you to do. This may seem insignificant, but data shows otherwise. The more the driver taps in on impulsive behavior, the more drive-thru visits people make. Now, once you're blocked by the cars behind and in front of you, the second main reason kicks in. This is when things get interesting. For drive-thrus, the pre-order zone is basically an advertisement zone. This is where they try to influence you into buying more stuff. Just like they use the illusion of convenience to lure you in, here they pull the novelty illusion on you. How? Well, it's both genius and simple. When you're stuck in the pre-order zone, waiting to place an order, you're more likely to look around out your window while thinking about what you'll be ordering in a minute. Those moments or minutes are extremely important to fast food companies. That's when you're most vulnerable to impulsive behavior and indecisiveness. And there's nothing drive-thrus love more than an impulsive buyer with money in his hands.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Fast food joints slap up all kinds of signage in the drive-thru to catch your eye with new and exciting menu items. And there's a good reason for this. We're all pretty much hardwired to love novelty, just like we do with convenience. It's called novelty bias, and it means that our brains get super excited by new and shiny things. When you see something fresh and different, your brain releases dopamine. So while you might just cruise past a boring ad for a regular hamburger, if a new, fun item pops up, you're way more likely to take notice. It's all about grabbing your attention and making you go, wow, I need to try that.
Yeah, honestly, it's for sure fact. You know, I had this effect, applied on me when I was younger, right? Like a kid. I always used to buy. I mean, it wasn't that frequent, but like once a 2 years, once a 3 years, I just bought a new mouse, new headphones, new keyboard, just because I felt like it, just because I wanted something new, something that could improve my gaming performance or whatever. Nowadays, I obviously don't do it. You know, these headphones, I bought them like 2020 and they are released in 2017 or so. So, yeah. But, well, I don't do it anymore with the tech. But honestly, thinking about it, in case of food, I really like the specials. When I see new thing, I really want to try it. But then there comes the price, right? I mean, these specials, this new stuff, it's usually pretty pricey, so I don't get them. You know, there was like in McDonald's, there was like the, how do you say it, cheese season. I don't know, it might not be in America, but right here in my country, in Europe, we got cheese season, which is basically, I think, like a month or two, where basically they put like more cheese into your stuff when you order it, and pretty much all people are hyping it up. But it's not expensive, I guess, for one try, right? But it's not cheap either, so I don't get it.
Food places are masters at this, and they know how to keep your cravings alive. If you're already in line to eat fast food, and if it was a totally impulsive decision like it is for most people, then you may be in the mood to treat yourself. According to this Ipsos poll, is one of the major emotional drivers of impulse buys. Some fast food chains have started using anti-glare film on their menu boards, which means you can't see the options until you're right up close. This clever tactic increases the chances that you'll act impulsively. When you can't view the menu until you're almost at the order point,
Yeah,
you're forced
sometimes
to make quick decisions
I
or
did
risk
this
holding
too,
up the line.
not
This
gonna lie.
sense of urgency is a powerful behavioral trigger.
Couple times.
Studies show that when things feel urgent, you're much more likely to make impulsive choices rather than think them through. If you're sitting in line, calmly considering your options, you're engaging in what's called System 2 thinking, which is more rational and thought out. But when urgency kicks in, you switch to System 1 thinking, which is more about quick, instinctive decisions. This shift significantly increases the likelihood that you'll add extra items to your order. Now moving on
That
to the
is
next phase
indeed
of the
evil.
drive-thru layout, the order zone. This is when customers make their orders relying on menu boards. Before the technical revolution we've witnessed in the last decade, menus were boring printed sheets with no visual representation of the items. But that meant customers were more likely to stick to familiar territory and order items that they'd already tried before, which meant less order values for the franchise. Of course, a change had to be made. In 2019, McDonald's invested $6 billion in digital signage across its drive-thrus. Of course, the reason behind such a huge investment wasn't just aesthetics. Digital menus meant more influence on your behavior, and that is done through two main tactics. The first one
Pictures.
being the ability to give customers an overly perfected visualization of the
Yeah.
item, to the point where the image on the menu couldn't be further from reality, making the product look more appealing than it actually is. And even though we all know this, our subconscious mind never fails to believe the trick. The other psychological trick used with digital menus is the same trick used by magicians, where you think you chose the card you wanted, but in reality they influenced you into choosing the card they want you to pick. Somehow our brains are wired to choose the first option presented to us. In behavioral science, this is called the primacy effect. But what's the first option in a long digital board? Well, in this case, the first option is the one closer to customers, meaning items placed on our eye level. Besides the psychology tricks, digital menus allow fast food chains to customize the layout, messaging, and winning items on any given day. In the first year of implementing the digital boards, McDonald's had a 5% increase in revenue. That's not a small number at all. And if you thought this is a lot, the future of digital menus is even scarier. With the explosion of AI in recent years, digital menu screens are now more capable of influencing your behavior than ever. And that's through a technology called AI suggestive selling. In 2019, McDonald's bought a $300 million company specializing in this particular technology. That's the biggest McDonald's acquisition in the last 20 years. That in itself is quite telling of the potential of digital screens controlled by AI. Currently, this technology is being used to predict the best-selling items according to traffic, dates, and regional parameters. The items known to sell more on a particular day and location would be shown on the menu boards. But in the future, experts believe that this technology could be able to show a different menu for each customer following their order history, preferences, and patterns, using a combination of facial recognition and license plate readers. And if that's the case, be prepared to invest in a ski mask and a removable license plate. Just kidding. Just keep these tactics in mind next time you pull up to a drive-thru. Subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, I mean with the license plate, that's pretty smart. Honestly, I haven't thought of it, but it might be possible in the US, but I don't think that's possible in the EU because of the law as of right now. We'll have to see though. The evil design of McDonald's drive-thru by Fry? I don't know. Yeah. Definitely check out the original down in the description. As I said, it's the thing I was thinking. Yeah, it's basically like drive-thru is just psychology, honestly. I mean, even when you come into the restaurant, it's there's the reason. I mean, there's the reason why people love the how do you call them, like self-checkout panels. Yeah, I mean, it makes them a lot of money. People love it. And yeah, there's probably other things too, but I don't know. Anyways, the original is in the description. Thank you for watching my reaction and bye bye.